Hey there, everyone. It's Alexander Alcala. Just wanted to. I mean, after reading the chapters, the conflict metaphor. I was going to use the one from the text, or one of the ones from the text, was the one where it talks about the conflict is a balancing art, I believe. So, I like how it mentioned that it's like walking on a tightrope and balancing everything out because it is. I mean, I'm the type of person that I like to avoid conflict if I have to. I don't, like to, get too much into the weeds as far as maybe going down a rabbit hole with somebody and just trying to prove yourself right. I know that, especially when it comes to, being married. I know I mentioned in there about talking about couples, how, being able to balance things out with each other to avoid fighting and any conflict and things like that, which I feel like me and my wife do very well. I mean, but then again, there's times where too, it's like we just don't see eye to eye, and we don't end up going to go to that place to eat for example. So it is. I mean, it is. There's a lot of balancing. There's a lot of give and take. Being able to see eye to eye from the other person's point of view, and being able to be open and receptive to their, whether it be their feedback or criticism or what have you, and being able to keep your cool. So I feel like the metaphor was that balancing it, it's like an art. It is, being able to maybe catch yourself when you're being a little bit too pushy, or maybe being able to catch yourself when you're being over aggressive and maybe you're not hearing out the other side of the story. So I think that's why that conflict metaphor fits my style, just because like I said, I when I can, I try to avoid conflict as much as possible, just because it takes a lot of energy to fight and argue with somebody. And I know it talks about we're not talking about physically fighting or anything, but it does. Arguing, it drains you, and especially if let's say if you go to sleep upset over something with your spouse or your significant other, and then, or let's say if you argue before you go to work, and that's something that you're thinking about all day, and it just throws you off at work too as well, and you can't think, you can't be productive. So I think that's why that metaphor fits me, and what my relationship with my wife and even my family too. I always try to look at something and be a mediator, look at it in the middle, so that way we can all try to maybe walk away from the issue at hand with everybody being happy. I know I just came from a negotiations class before this one, and that one was very interesting. It opened up my eyes a lot to that there's a lot more to it, and I learned a lot about myself as being a negotiator too as well. So, with that being said, that type of metaphor being, with balancing as an art, it does apply to, maybe compromising with one another. So, that one definitely, I would say I would go with, and is more my style, my approach, just because being able to balance, like I said, balance everything out, whether it be with anything, with a customer, or if you're on the other side, you're the customer, just being able to make your point across, and then hear the other side, and then go from there to balance it out, to and also to catch yourself too, if you're maybe being a little over aggressive or being too pushy on something, and not being open to the feedback from the other party. So definitely can go a long way. I know that for a fact, just from experiences with, from family, friends, people that I met, that I encounter at work. So yeah, definitely that one is a very interesting one, and I would say that resembles me and the type of conflict that the metaphor that I would relate to the most. Thank you.